Welcome to Subramani. I'm going to talk to you about a very complicated subject today. It is a question of the PE ratio that a company gets, the market respect that the company gets, and the uh, need to generate alpha at all for a good, solid company, right? So, welcome to Subramani. So, let us talk of three companies in the world and run in three completely different styles. So first is Berkshire Hathaway, world famous. Everybody has heard of Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. Uh, Reliance Industries, not so much world famous, but yes, well known in India. Now will be well known all over the world with the two of the fangs investing and the third fang talking about investing, and the third company being Deepak Parekh's HDFC Limited. So, first of all, the fact that I'm comparing Berkshire Hathaway to Mr. Ambani and Deepak Parekh should be a clear indication that Warren Buffett is not a fund manager. Let me make it clear, read my lips. Warren Buffett is not a fund manager, he's a businessman and you invest in his business, right? So there is no question of a fund management fee. Deepak Parekh Saab or Mukesh Ambani Saab don't charge you a fund management fee for investing in their companies. So if you made money by investing in Reliance or in HDFC Limited, great, but you don't pay a fund management fee. So that is something which all three of them save. Berkshire Hathaway doesn't pay dividend, whereas Reliance and HDFC Limited pay a lot of dividends, which they need not have. Maybe they could have plowed it back the way Berkshire Hathaway did, but that's not the Indian style. The Indian style is to give cash back to the shareholder. Now go to Bloomberg.com and see the charts of performance of all the three companies, and you realize that India, as usual, does not know how to market itself. Have you seen any article anywhere with a graph or without a graph of Berkshire Hathaway versus Reliance or Berkshire Hathaway versus HDFC Limited? The chances are you wouldn't have, and almost everybody has this data, especially the data companies, which shows very clearly that we will get carried away by reputation. And once a person establishes a reputation, he need not even generate alpha. People will be very happy investing because saying, oh, there is more to value here than just the alpha that you guys look for. So, what all does Mr. Buffett do, and which Berkshire Hathaway does rather than saying Mr. Buffett does, and which HDFC Limited and Mr. Deepak Parekh or Mr. Mukesh Ambani do not do. One, Berkshire Hathaway goes about educating people. The quality of letters which Mr. Buffett writes to his shareholders is definitely worth its weight. So, of course, you need not own the shares to get a copy of the letter or get a link to that letter. You go to Google and you will find all those letters. The question is how much can you read and how much will you assimilate and how much is adaptable to today and how much of that is usable for you. Let's take simple examples. Be fearful when others are greedy, be greedy when others are fearful. Very often quoted Buffett statement. The question is how many of us can really do it, right? Can you be scared when others are greedy? Will you stop being greedy? In fact, I would adapt that statement to be less greedy when others are greedy, be a little fearful where others are more fearful, rather than saying be fearful when others are greedy. Let us look at the price of gold now. Gold has been a great performer in the last 6 months, definitely in the last 3 months after COVID hit, which means sometime in March. Uncertainty of the US dollar, the US behavior, Trump coming back, that has made people are not very sure about using only the dollar. It's not as though the dollar has ceased to be a powerful currency. It is the most powerful currency in this bipolar world. In fact, in the bipolar world, it is the single currency which is the strongest. It's definitely not the Chinese currency. So, US dollar will continue to be there, but gold has also definitely done well. The question is, should you be selling gold or should you be buying gold now? I don't know, let's do a separate post on that. So first is, using Buffett's quotes are nice to use. I'm sure I'll get a lot of hits because I'm going to tag Warren Buffett in this name, right? But that does not mean you will be able to use those quotes, right? So that's first, not denying that the quality of education that he has done, whether about picking up a few stocks, having a focused portfolio, many of us have benefited by all that. Then making sure that your emotions are under control. Warren Buffett started talking about emotions and investing, I think, far before people started talking about behavioral finance, at least in India. To that extent, it has been useful the way he picks stocks. But remember, even Buffett in life story is about picking up a few great winners, and the others have been at best mediocre. Right? His Colgate has performed very well. It has beaten the local indices by a percent or two. But that does not mean his American Express has done well. Right? So over long periods of time, there have not been some spectacular purchases, but yes, some of the few good purchases. One, to use Motilal Oswal's line, buying right and sitting tight over long periods of time. So both of that are necessary, because you will constantly be thrown data, numbers, qualitative articles saying why this company should now be sold off. You will yourself start having doubts. That's always been my argument. If you bought 10,000 shares of HDFC Bank in 1995, at say 40 rupees it was available. The question is, would you have held on to it permanently? At 80 you would have been tempted, at 160 you would have been tempted, at 320 you have been tempted. You would sell some part of it. At least that's been my personal experience. I have held on to very good shares, but I have still sold HDFC Limited, I have still sold HDFC Bank, I have still sold Coromandel International, I have sold Hero Honda as it was called. I'm completely out of Hero Honda, right? Or Hero Motors as it's now called. You will always have doubts, self-doubt. So when a company gets a very high P, you keep wondering, at such P, how long will I be able to sustain? Should I sell? Should I hold? These are not answers which are easy to find in textbooks and blogs, right? You have to take those decisions yourself. I can take that decision for myself. You need to take a decision for yourself. So what Berkshire Hathaway does with its amazing PR machinery is attracts the highest quality of shareholders who are willing to give Buffett 1 week, 1 month, 1 decade, 2 decades of trial and say, it's okay, I think as long as he's doing a good job. And what is a good job? I really don't know. So first, educating the people is something which he has definitely done. As a mechanism that organization has gone about, I think you call it brilliant PR network, but yes, that they have done very well. And then, like I said, introducing the behavioral concept. And one thing common which you find to Mr. Deepak Parekh and Mr. Bajaj, I would think Rahul, Sanjeev, Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani and then Mukesh Ambani is a permanent optimism about the market. You can say the same thing about your 4 Rs, Ridham Desai, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, and Ramesh Damani, right? All of them also they have been always super optimistic about the market. I think you need to be optimistic about the market. Without that optimistic outlook, you will never be able to deliver good quality results. Look at the amazing optimism of Mukesh Ambani when everybody was saying, oh God, there is COVID, I cannot go out, I cannot step out. He goes and does such huge mega deals. Obviously, these deals have been done over phone and all that, but I don't know whether such big deals can be carried out just over phone, because papers have been exchanged, data has been exchanged, views have been exchanged, right? So, but that super optimism, long-term optimist, Buffett says, don't bet against America. If you look at Mukesh Ambani's talk, it is always super optimism. Even in the latest AGM, he was very optimistic about what he can achieve. If you're not optimistic, you will not make 10-year investments, right? You will just say, I don't know whether I'll be alive after 10 years. Why should I do? And this man goes and invests such amazing amounts. The other thing which Buffett has done very well and in style, which to an extent I wouldn't think Deepak Parekh Saab has done, but Mr. Mukesh Ambani has done, is buying shares which are on a song, which are available because they are in trouble. Why? I don't need to name companies, but there are companies who went to him for actually borrowing money for the short term and ended up giving the company to him completely. There are companies which went and said, can you hold 5% of mine for some time and then I will buy it back from you. He has held that, he has made money. He has made money from people rubbing their noses in front of him saying, please take me over. And he has bought it only when the nose started bleeding, not when he started bowing down, right? So this is something which both Mr. Buffett and Mr. Ambani have done. Now, look at the value add Mr. Ambani seems to be doing in Reliance Industries. I'm sure parts of Jio will not be listed in India. It will be listed in NASDAQ. That is going to make Reliance Industries more like a holding company, but holding an extremely valuable technology piece, whatever by whatever name, listed in NASDAQ, and that will again be an Indian first time, right? So I'm sure he's going to do those kind of things for value add, and so has Mr. Buffett. Looked for deals which were available only to people of pockets that size. Those deals are not available to somebody else. So no point in saying I will invest like Buffett and I will invest like Ambani. Those deals don't come to you. Those deals come to you only in the newspaper when you're reading that so and so did such a deal. It takes guts. It takes the ability to write 8-digit, 9-digit, 10-digit checks, right? So it doesn't come to the common man. So when the whole world is pessimistic about something to go and buy, to do something to the contrary, that gets you the PE, right? Nobody's bothered on a day-to-day basis whether you're generating alpha. Does it really matter? Look at Reliance. I remember for 6-7 years, Reliance did nothing. No alpha, no beta. It was underweight even in most of his fans' portfolios. But now in the last 2 years or last 1 year plus, he's made look people like an idiot if you did not have Reliance in your portfolio, right? So I got panicky now. Recently I sold. I'm still left with a small bit because the price just kept going up, and now I feel that price can go up even further. No, I'm not recommending the share, but I'm saying you need to be sure as to how these companies add value, and over long periods of time, since they add value. For example, I don't judge HDFC Limited or a Reliance on an hour-to-hour basis or a day-to-day basis, because over long periods of time they have definitely generated wealth. And again, HDFC Limited is India's Berkshire Hathaway. Look at the number of companies it has promoted and the fact that it is still holding 10% or almost 10% in HDFC Bank. It holds a very big percentage of the AMC now they have Bandhan Bank, they have life insurance, right, and they have a housing education finance company which could go public anytime. I have no clue about that, right? So the PE of a HDFC Limited is not that of a mortgage company PE. I remember one big investor telling me that it is overpriced, and I said it's Berkshire Hathaway of India. So remember that, right? So will we find articles in the Indian press talking about how Ambani and Mr. Parekh have done a far better job than what Mr. Buffett has done? Go to Bloomberg.com. You will find the charts. Unfortunately, you will find only 5-year charts. Go and compare. Both these companies have beaten Buffett by a mile. It is time we started saying Buffett is good, Buffett is great, but there is some person called Deepak Parekh who is just a salaried employee. He is not the owner. Please remember there's a difference between Mr. Deepak Parekh, Mr. Ambani, and Mr. Warren Buffett. Two of them are owner controlled. The HDFC Limited is just held together on the basis of goodwill and past reputation, not on the basis of shareholding. Thank you.